For more, let me bring in Jonathan Ruhe from the Jewish Institute for National Security of America. Jonathan, it's always good to see you. So just for starters, Israel's not fighting with Lebanon. You know, they're fighting with Hezbollah. So how seriously do you take the announcement of a ceasefire that the most dangerous party hasn't agreed to?
You know, I think like the multiple ceasefires we've seen in Lebanon over the last year and a half, it is indeed tenuous for the reasons you give. Hezbollah has made clear that they see no need to agree to a ceasefire unless they're being pummeled by the Israeli military and or pressured by the Lebanese government. Other than that, especially now with Iran's explicit backing, they're willing to keep fighting otherwise. So, ultimately, because this ceasefire in Lebanon is wrapped up in the larger negotiations with Iran, specifically Iran's demand that Israel stop fighting on that front separately from what's going on in the rest of the region, I think induces even an extra degree of volatility in that conflict.
The White House, I found this interesting. The White House says the ceasefire requires a complete halt of attacks by Hezbollah and also the evacuation of all operatives from south of the Litani River. Is the White House in a position to make those kinds of demands when the United States and Iran have both continued to trade fire throughout the entirety of our own ceasefire?
So I think they're certainly right to make those demands, as we've seen, until you get a real solution to the Hezbollah problem that involves U.S. diplomatic involvement, Israel, and then also ultimately a willing but potentially not able Lebanese government at this point. That's part of a coalition you need to push back against Iran, especially because right now Iran is back to thinking it calls the shots ultimately in Lebanon, which again is part of Iran's belief that it's in a strong position for negotiations with the U.S. more generally, and it explicitly wants to tie the two together.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like a do as I say, not as I do demand. If the ceasefire in Lebanon does in fact hold, how does that change the game for negotiations with Iran?
So I guess probably it depends on if Iran thinks the ceasefire holds because of its decision. Because right now, as it usually does in talks, but especially now because it's in the immediate aftermath of a head-to-head conflict, Iran is looking wherever it can to try to spot U.S. weakness, daylight between the United States and Israel, because that weakens the coalition facing Iran and trying to deter Iranian aggression. So ultimately, despite the president's hope that we may be close to a deal, I don't think the Iranians are willing to take America's yes for an answer just yet. I think they want to try to play their own cards and build up their own leverage even more, see what more they can potentially get in a deal.
Taking us to Capitol Hill yesterday, the House passed that Wars Powers resolution on Wednesday demanding an end to this war in Iran. Of course, the president is likely to veto any measure from Congress that limits his authority as commander-in-chief. So how much teeth will that have? And does that symbolism do anything?
So, yeah, I think the symbolism is what really matters here. I think it's a toss-up leaning toward unlikely if the Senate also passes this resolution. It was indeed a surprise that the House did, but the symbolism of that surprise is very important because the Trump administration, for all the good work they did militarily in this war, they did not prepare the American public for what they were seeking to achieve against Iran and the potential uncertainties and risks that comes with. And now Americans are paying the price economically. So I think if nothing else, it will send a message to the administration, hopefully that they need to do a better job of explaining this to the American public, but also potentially that they need to wrap this war up in ways that may actually not be great over the longer term.
Do you think the administration underestimated Iran's power and just financial leverage?
I think so, and obviously I get to sit here with the benefit of hindsight, but even before the war, the sort of logical thing was, all right, if the United States is going to go all out against Iran in a conflict, then we had better be prepared for Iran to take the gloves off in ways they did not in previous rounds of conflict. And the most logical point there, and this came up in war games even before the conflict started, that Iran's biggest retaliatory option, its biggest pressure point, is to choke off Hormuz and make this a global problem that goes beyond the United States' ability to solve just militarily. Because if it's always head-to-head fight militarily, the United States will win. But if this becomes an economic problem, Iran has a fighting chance.
We'll see what this coming weekend has in store as well. Jonathan Ruhe, thank you as always for your time and expertise. I always greatly appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Of course, you got it.